joining us and trying to get the biggest information that we can out to you from across our sister stations across the country, as we always do. Let's go out right now because our very own Celeste Rodriguez, you know her from AZAM, she has a story on a local company here. It's a lingerie company, but they're flipping the script. During the pandemic, they're making masks, and Celeste Rodriguez introduces us to them.
Well, hi, everyone. I'm Celeste Rodriguez with Fox 10 AZAM. And throughout this entire pandemic, we have met a lot of business owners who've had to pivot so they don't perish. Of course, really had to be quick thinkers and quick movers. And so today we're chatting with Jess and Jay McFall, and they have a really interesting story. They have owned a lingerie business, and they've really had to change gears very quickly. They owned Naked Rebellion. And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Jay and Jess.
So excited.
Thank you. Thank you. Big fans of the show.
Yeah. Thank you. We so appreciate it. Okay, so tell us, take us to the beginning if you can, the beginning of the pandemic. You're a lingerie company. I've seen your bras and underwear. They're fabulous, by the way. And how you decided you had to make this move.
Okay, so our lingerie line called Naked Rebellion was this like brainchild of an idea for 15 years. And then we finally had the opportunity to create the brand with the help at the incubator called Fabric Tempe, which is in Tempe, Arizona. And we went through we had an idea over a year ago, and with them over 6 months from idea to prototype to full branding, and had a runway show in 6 months. So then that was about mid last year. And then, about 6-8 months ago, then we fully went into production, and we had officially all of our bras, underwear, every single thing. We have 9 shades of nude and 3 styles of bras and 3 styles of underwear. So it's kind of a lot of inventory officially delivered the beginning of this year. We started doing some markets and meeting people and starting to sell, and our sales were going up, and we were like on track to have a pretty good, successful kickoff, and then everything stopped with the pandemic. And we knew that we had to do something. Not only what we're like afraid for our business, but we had these connections with manufacturers here in Arizona. So we all knew that we could band together and help. And that's essentially what we did.
And so Jay, next step then, once you guys band together, you make this happen. I've seen it's like a factory at Fabric. You guys are doing an amazing job. You guys are working with Banner, right? And some of their kind of people there that they kind of work to create new PPE now.
Yeah, and we're obviously a part of the Fabric Incubator, and they actually own the factory, and we partnered with them on these different projects. We were volunteering, helping sourcing fabrics just for the gowns for Banner, because they have contracts with Banner and Dignity. We just happened to be at the right place at the right time. We were on a call, and it was with the Banner Innovation team, and they're in charge of kind of taking resources that they have and making things better, obviously, like in-house consultants. They said, we have approved a cotton mask, and we need 2 million of them.
No small feat.
Yeah. My goodness.
Jess and I almost fell out of our seats. We talked to Sherry, the head of Fabric, about it. She said, I have no bandwidth to do this.
Because they're making
all the gowns.
Yeah, they already had isolation gown requests in the hundreds of thousands, and they were ramping up at full speed to make all those, and so they couldn't do that yet.
We wanted to really make the masks through the Fabric factory, but they have no bandwidth for it right now. So we said, you know what, we've got friends and partnerships with different factories around the country. We reached out to them. Not many people were working at that time.
Yeah.
So the factory owners were like, let's see what we can do. And that was 5 weeks ago. It feels like it was 6 months ago.
Yeah, and then through that and through our connections and our manufacturing ability, we've hired now, I think we have 6 factories. We have 3 in Los Angeles. We have 2 in El Paso. We have 1 in Indiana and 1 in that we're working with right now, all making these masks for multiple hospitals, which is crazy.
So when you talk about some of the fabric that you've had to, purchase, I heard you chat in on a different podcast type format that it was difficult to get some of the fabric, and you initially had gone to, was it some fabric makers or people up in Canada, and then that got squashed?
It's actually really crazy because again, like, we're a small little lingerie company. We have no big pull really anywhere. And just through research and just kindness of people wanting to help everywhere, we were able to connect and connect and connect. And there's a really incredible fabric manufacturer that we've worked with that's based out of Vancouver. And for isolation gowns, there has to be lots of technical testing to them, and there's different levels for them to be in certain areas of the hospitals. And so the hospitals are very eager to make sure they hit those testing room anyway. So we were talking with a factory in Canada. We had found some fabric that was tested to level 3, which was exactly what we wanted. And we talked to the hospital, they wanted it. So I was literally on the phone purchasing the fabric, and they were like, "Oh no, Jessica, so sorry." I'm like, "What's happened?" They're like, "The Canadian government just seized every bit of fabric that we have so they can make isolation gowns in Canada for their own hospitals." And I was like, "Okay, what do you do now?" I mean, they're like, "Oops, we made a mistake." This is like literally, we're competing with other governments now for bolts of fabric.
We've had
It's
that
crazy.
We've
out
had
there.
it happen several times. We have secured fabric, and a national government from fill in the blank comes in and scoops it up right before us.
Can I tell you that I have goosebumps right now as you say that? Because 6 months ago, I'm sure the both of you could have never even imagined that you would be in the spot you're in now. And it's got to be wild for you guys on this brand new train, and a big learning leap, right? You guys are learning a lot about a different type of business.
Holy moly. And thank gosh we've partnered with somebody like Banner, because they've kind of let us learn along the way. Fail forward is what
Yeah.
I like to say.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a huge learning curve.
Well, and the one thing, as just a citizen, that's so inspiring, and I didn't know just how much the hospital really were doing for innovation and for thinking forward. And I had no clue that Banner had an in-house innovation team. And it's this incredible team of people that, from engineers to ergonomic developers to manufacturers, they're literally just trying to create the newest and best and most effective way to help protect all of us. And so being able to team up with them has been incredible. And you know, like, early on entrepreneurial lessons, everybody was like, you can do it. No matter what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Just hire people that are smarter than you to be in the room around you. And that's kind of what we feel like we've been able to do with these incredible hospital brains and engineer brains. And we've got architects on our team. I mean, just really incredible people that are all coming together, just pursuing the common good of helping people.
We're very good at hiring people that are smarter than us.
Yes.
That's one of our best skills.
Yeah.
That's good though. I think then isn't that where we learn the most, right? When we're surrounded by people who are smarter than us. I mean, that's how we move ahead.
Yeah.
The fastest, grow the most. So about 90% of the world's PPE was at one point created in China. Now, obviously, a lot of the different countries have to produce their own out of necessity. Fast forward now to today and where we are. In your factory, give us an idea of how many people at Fabric in Tempe, who you guys are partnering with, how many people you're working, and how many pieces of PPE are being produced on any given day or week.
Oh my goodness, so many. So Fabric, and in its normal state, is as a fashion incubator, I think has between 7 and 11 machines, kind of to make whatever the fashion brand needs to create production. And when they ramped up, this is just the Fabric building, we had to buy 41 additional machines. So that's pretty crazy. There's at least 50, if not more, machines in there. Plus, you have to find the staff for all of that. And Fabric has also partnered with 3 other facilities here in Arizona just to make these reusable isolation gowns. So in Arizona alone, there's well over 100 sewers just
on gowns,
isolation gowns. And then we are tasked, our company, the Gateway Group, is tasked making the masks for Banner right now. And we are using the 6 facilities, and there's at least 50 sewers in each facility. So, I mean, that there's a lot of people employed just making stuff for these local hospitals that are, you know, local to the Southwest at least. And it's been incredible to be able to people and know that people are able to put food on their table and, you know, aren't in this like this crazy pandemic. So many people are out of work. So it's been just so inspiring to be able to the other side of it, to be able to help people that feel a little bit hopeless with it. That's been crazy. So many people employed. And when everything is at full steam, we make about 150,000 masks a week, and gowns they make between 500 and 2,000 a day at every facility.
That is incredible. So what does this mean? Have you guys now created a new business that creates just masks? And what's the future for Naked Rebellion?
Well, Naked Rebellion is our baby. They're nothing. She's there, and we're still selling. We've got a Mother's Day special going on, and all that stuff happening. But yes, because of the giant needs, and you know, we see that a lot of hospitals keep reaching out, and lots of even small municipalities are reaching out to us. So we have created a separate business just for the PPE, and it's called the Gateway Group, and the website is gatewayppe.com. And we are, you know, just launching and figuring out kind of what products we can offer and what people are needing. And we specialize and want to be the in-house, create exactly what you need, whatever the health system is. You know, if it's a specific style of gown, we work straight with fabric, and we at Fabric Tempe and figure out exactly, do you want it to have a necktie or a waist tie or a thumb hole or a wristband type of thing in your gown? And same with a mask. Do you like an elastic ear loop or a tie behind your head? And, you know, all the little specifics. So we've got quite a range of products now, from fashion masks all the way up to the medical grade masks, and same with the isolation gowns. It's a wild world that 5 weeks ago we never thought we would be in.
We initially thought this was, our goals have changed every 2 weeks. We thought this was going to be like a pandemic business, and then we'd get back to Naked Rebellion. The scope of that has just absolutely exploded through stories that we've, you know, thank you for letting us be on your show a couple of times. We have some of the largest healthcare systems in the country, not the world, reaching out to just a small company.
Yeah.
Our partnership with Fabric has brought unbelievable press, and through that, in the next couple of weeks, we're hoping to hire and ramp up a lot faster as far as employees. So we can handle just the sheer number of orders and inquiries that we're getting.
Well, Jess and Jay, thank you so much for your time this morning. I appreciate you guys sharing your time with us, and I'm looking forward to keeping in touch and seeing kind of what the future has for the Gateway Group. This is a big deal because I think a while back we thought maybe we were just in this for a short term, but now we know that there's going to be a new normal that we're going to be experiencing, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Everybody has pivot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
in some way.
Yeah. It's really been interesting too. We've two small kids, and to see them react through this has been a you know, a hard thing as a mom, but also very inspiring because kids are so resilient. And our 4-year-old has been like, Mommy and Daddy make masks now. So like masks aren't scary to him, and that's a normal thing, and it's okay to wear them. So it's been super inspiring to see the good and the positive that can come out of this, especially when people come together, because there's a lot of negativity coming out, and you can definitely get down, but to see, you know, how a 4-year-old can respond to it, I think is really incredible.
What an incredible story, Jay and Jess McFall. Thank you so much. If you have a story you'd like to share with me, you can look me up on social media, Instagram.